Hi, I'm Duke Edmund, and given the pandemic, I've decided to find a use for my time. So I've started to make some instructional videos. I hope that they are useful and that you can draw something from them that'll help you fight for a long, long time and derive some enjoyment from it. A little bit about my background. When I started sword fighting in the SCA, the pinnacle of my athletic achievement was chess club. So I started from basically being an octopus folding a deck chair with no grace or athletic skill whatsoever. And these are the techniques I practiced and learned to make me able to swing a sword with some effectiveness. This may not be the best techniques for everybody, but it will certainly be good for those folks who aren't athletically inclined or not necessarily the strongest guy on the block, because it'll teach you how to use your body as effectively as you can. So with that, I will start with the first step. First step of anything is how do you plant your feet? And this is a training drill to start. This is a foundational system. You start with the basics. You build more advanced techniques as you go along. So the beginning stuff that I started with is what I'm going to show you here. So first, you've got your opponent. You want to draw a line to your opponent. I put a spear on the ground for ease of view. I want your front toe on that line. I want your back heel on that line. I want your feet about shoulder width apart, give or take, whatever's comfortable. Okay? A little bit of bend to your knees. You're going to do something athletic. Everything athletic, you got a little bend to your knees. You need a little bit of flexibility there. So I'm going to set the sword down because this first part you need to do without a sword. You don't need a sword to do this. So, in order to throw a blow and generate power, I start from the ground. To quote Sir Ivar's got a great quote about this is, hit your opponent with the earth. Right? You're generating all the power with the bigger muscles. So your legs and your torso are generating your power. Your arm gets involved at the last step of it, and it's just steering the sword to your opponent. So, with your feet shoulder width apart, balanced evenly between them, I want you to drive with that back leg. This will result in one of two actions. One, it'll push your body forward, and that's not what we want here. The alternative is it's going to drive that hip forward, and that's what I want you to do. Because you're driving, getting the legs involved to create that power. All right? Next step of this is you've got to assume your hips are on a plane and your back is on your spine is on a spike. All right, so you're not wibble wobbling and doing all this kind of weird sideways stuff. That throws off your balance, that throws off your rotational axis, which you'll see how important that is as we get through the rest of the steps. So you're going to drive with your leg and drive that as far as you can, comfortably. Next, you're going to engage your torso muscles, and you're going to rotate those as far as you can comfortably. All right, this is where you're generating your power. Now, as a slow drill for this, it doesn't look like fighting. But what you're doing is you're teaching your muscles to engage to generate the power you're going to need to throw that blow. Okay? So, we're going to drive with the leg, rotate the torso. We're doing it slowly because we're training the muscle what to do. Now we're going to get the hand involved, the sword. All right? Stick your arm straight out. Bring it back as far as comfortable. Bend your arm. Put a plate or bowl in your hand. This is, the old term for this is serving the soup. It's how you deliver the sword to your opponent and how you deliver it with proper blade orientation, which is a really crucial step in the process. If your blade isn't oriented properly, not only is it not a good blow, you lose power. And you can throw a lot less hard with proper orientation and technique than you would if you're just trying to muscle it through or throw flat. So, you're going to drive with your leg. You're going to rotate your hip. You're going to run that thumb along your jawline and serve the soup. Notice the orientation of my hand. All right? My thumb is basically my blade, and my hand or my knuckles represents where the front of my blade is. Okay? I'll do that one more time slow. Drive with the legs, turn the hips, torso, and extend and serve the soup. Now let's do that with the sword, and you'll see what it looks like. So we're exaggerating the torso twist, the rotation of the hips, the extension of the arm, all because when training, some movements when done in real time will be exaggerated and some will be minimized. We want to exaggerate these movements in training because when you actually fight, what you'll get is about that much twist, just a little bit. And that's all you'll need once you train these muscles to fire. But for the sake of training, you want to exaggerate that motion. And that is the basics to how I throw a blow.
Done.